Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Do it but to do it. Or do it. Great morning, great morning, great morning, great people. How are y'all doing this morning? I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing morning. Welcome to Spirit University. I am your professor in spirit, Touche Germain. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're feeling good. If you are new to Spirit U, welcome. We're so happy, so grateful that you are here. And if you is an OG royalty, hashtag royalty in the chat. Okay, hashtag royalty in the chat. Y'all come in. You know what to do, ski booski. Come in, like the last share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance. I hope y'all feeling good. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hey, Shell Bell. Good morning, dearest one. Good morning. I hope y'all are doing well. Y'all, the Lord just gave me something a little interesting to talk, and we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna breeze through it because it's not that long. We're gonna do Genesis 10, and then we're gonna get into the spirituality, but we're gonna do Genesis 10 first, because we can literally finish that in one day, and then we'll start Genesis 11 on Monday. Y'all, the Lord just told me something. It's a little interesting. Well, okay, first of all, can I just tell y'all? So I can tell y'all now because it's kind of out the bag. And so, as a result of something that happened yesterday, is what the Lord is using today to give the word, to give the message. So we're gonna talk about that. Some of y'all, you might as well just get ready because the Lord said what's hidden is being revealed. Okay, what's hidden is now being revealed. So just get ready for that. You finna come on out. Okay, you finna come on out, pop out and show them. Right. So anyway, we are going to be talking about that today. Thank you so much for sharing the live, honey one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the follow, JC on. Thank you so much, dearest one. So, let's do it. Let's get to it. Y'all, I do not have my favorite adult beverage, my God, but I'm gonna work on that. Y'all know I am in a season. I left everything, so I don't have. I'm gonna have to try. I think I found an Aldi, y'all. I ain't gonna tell no tales. I think I found an Aldi, so I'm gonna see if I can go to the Aldi and find my favorite adult beverage. But hopefully, I'll be able to do that this weekend. The Lord finna put some of y'all to work. Let me just told you that He finna put you to work, so you can just get ready. All I do, and let's get to it, y'all. Let's get into Genesis 10 because I really want to get into the spirituality for this morning because it's gonna be good. But first, we're gonna do Genesis 10. It's real easy. Y'all know we're gonna read it. I am in the Amplified Bible this morning. Genesis 10. This is talking about the descendants of Noah. And then, so we'll go through that. We'll go through the notes, which it ain't a whole lot of them. And then we'll get into the spirituality. Okay. Good morning, love. Good morning. How are y'all doing this morning? How y'all feeling? Happy Friday. Today is going to be a fantastic Friday full of faith. Come on, faith and favor. Faith and favor Friday. Indeed and amen. And is. Some of y'all just don't even realize that you're getting ready to be blessed beyond measure. That's something the Lord. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. I can't even see over there. That's something the Lord was telling me this morning, like being blessed beyond measure with something that He is going to give you to do, or you may already be doing that, but He's going to give you something to do. And some of you, which part? And child, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for a hater. Okay, we let your haters be your motivators, but we gonna talk about it. Okay, we gonna talk about it. So, all to do it. Let's get to it. Let's talk about the descendants of Noah, and we'll read that, and then we're gonna get the notes for the spirituality, and then we're gonna get the notes for Genesis 10, then we'll get into spirituality. All to do it. Let's get to it. Descendants of Noah. These are the records of the generations or the descendants of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and the sons born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth. Now, first of all, if you knew to Spirit you in Bible clarity, understand this. We are not over here. We don't play around with these names. So the Lord already know my heart. So we're not going to play about these names, y'all, because what them names ain't my specialty. So just know that. The sons of Gomer, the sons of Japhet, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tyrus. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphat, Togarmah, already. The sons of Javan, Elishah, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. From these, the people of the coastlands of the nation were separated and spread into their lands, every one according to their own language, according to their constituent groups, family, which are their families, and into their nations. The sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, from whom descended the Egyptians, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteca, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush became the father of Nimrod. He became a mighty one on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore, it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar, which is in Babylonia. From that land, Nimrod went to Assyria and built Nineveh and Rehoboth, Ir, and Calah. And Nimrod built Rezin, which is between Nineveh and Calah. All these combined to form the great city of Nineveh. Mizraim, the ancestor of the Egyptians, became the father of Ludim, Anamim, Lehabim, and Naphtahim, and Parthrasim, and Cashlahim, from whom the Philistines, and Captorim, from whom came the Philistines. My God, Canaan became the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. Afterwards, the families of the Canaanite were spread abroad. The territory of the Canaanite extended from Sidon as one goes to Gerar, as far as Gaza, as one goes to Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah and Zeboim, as far as Lasha. These are the descendants of Ham, according to their constituent groups, according to their languages, by their lands, and by their nations. Also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, including the Hebrews, the older brother of Japhet, children were born. The sons of Shem, Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram, the ancestor of the Syrians, were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arpachshad became the father of Shelah, and Shelah became the father of Eber. Two sons were born to Eber. The name of one was Peleg, which means division, for the inhabitants of the earth were divided in his days, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan became the father of Almadad, Sheleph, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, and Hadoram, Uzal, Diklah, and Obal, Abimael, Sheba, and Ophir, Havilah, and Johab. All these were the sons, or Jobab, all these were the sons of Joktan. Now their territory extended from Mesha, as one goes towards Sephar, to the hill country of the east. These are Shem's descendants, according to their constituent groups, according to their languages, by their lands, according to their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, according to their descendants, by their nations, and from these people, the nations were separated and spread abroad on earth after the flood. The end. Okay, the end. So first of all, y'all, let me just tell y'all something. These names, these names don't be resonating in my spirituals, y'all. It really don't. They do not be resonating in my spirituals. But the Lord know my heart. But one of the things I did when I made a commitment to make sure that I was doing this for the Lord, doing these right, I made sure that even when it's hard, I'm still gonna read through it. We still gonna read through it and make sure that we're doing all of it. Because when we come up on this, I think it's in Numbers. My God, y'all, when we get to Numbers, OMG, it'd be a struggle, but we're gonna do it anyway. So all to do, let's get to it. So we're talking about descendants, and this kind of is gonna lead into what the Lord what gave me for the spirituality today. So Japhet, of course, was the oldest. His family lay remotest from Israel, which is the Isle of the Gentiles. And we know we talked about yesterday that there's going to be two sets, right? There's going to be two sects. And so we know that these are the Jews descending from Shem, and then the Gentiles descending from Japhet. Nimrod, which is in Genesis 10:60-14, was a great man in his day. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He resolved to tower above his neighbors, not only to be eminent among them, but lord it over them. The same spirit that actuated the giants before the flood now revived in him. So even though the Lord had destroyed the earth, we see that the same spirits will still operate in people, right? And this is something we know as well. The Lord was talking to me yesterday about, like, it was crazy how he just ended up talking about like familiar spirits. And just like generational things. And I think we mentioned that as well, like how generational things will be passed down. Um, in families if we don't break those chains, right? There's some in whom ambition and affectation of dominion seem to be bred in the bone. Nothing inside of hell will break the proud spirits of some men. So some people, they're ambitious and all they want to do is be successful. And that's all right. Let them be ambitious, let them be successful. We want to just make sure that we continue to do what we want to do for the Lord versus worrying about the fame and the popularity. We ain't even on that anyway, but we know and we see it, and we're going to continue to see it. How many people focus in on um, the wrong things, the popular side of things. Nimrod wanted to be great, but he was also using fear, intimidation as a way to try to make himself great. But we know that those kinds of things actually make you weak, right? Because people who have to do that, that just means you really don't have any power. Nimrod was a great hunter, ridding his country of wild beasts, which infested it and won the affections of his neighbors, and he got to be their prince. Those that were, oh, that's what that was about. Man, I didn't even realize that. That's revelation. Okay, I'm back. Those that exercise authority either are or at least would be benefactors. So for many of you, as the Lord is stepping you into leadership and in positions of power and authority, you want to make sure that you're leading effectively. You want to make sure that you want to be a good person. It's not like fear is not the way to rule. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that you're not leading with fear. Because when people fear you, a lot of times that will have an adverse effect eventually, because somebody will be looking at a wave to come up against you and basically uproot you out your position. So you want to make sure that no matter how somebody else is, you're always leading with authority, with integrity, with honesty, because that makes people actually want to work for you, want to work under you, versus it's all good. Let me just tell y'all something. What you're not gonna do is talk to me crazy. Like there are some people who like to be talked down to, like to be talked to some type of way. I'm not one of them people. You're not going to talk to me out the side of your neck, right? And but we've also learned, because the Lord has sent us through conditioning and training, to where you ain't going, what I'm saying, you're responding differently in this season. So, but there are some people who that's all they know, and there are some people that's all that they respond to. So you have to find, and this is just for whoever this is for, like when you're working with people, different people have different leadership styles, and you may be that person as you're stepping into leadership as well. Because I feel like what the Lord is talking about specifically in this is, what kind of leader are you going to be? What kind of person you going to be? And that's going to kind of dictate how far He's able to take you and what the next thing is that you're doing. So just recognize that people lead different ways, and some people, they like to be yelled and fussed at, but some people don't respond well to that. Okay. Uh, he gathered men under his command in pursuit of another game he had to play, which was to make himself master of the country and bring them into subjection. He was a violent invader of his neighbors' rights and properties. Because understand this, just because you care, that don't mean somebody else cares. So I heard this the other day, where someone was like, why does it seem like people who do all the wrong things get ahead? But understand this, there's purpose in everything, y'all. There is purpose in everything that the Lord does. So just because He allows somebody to get to advance, even if they're wicked, that don't mean that they always gonna succeed. So know that. And He's actually in a season where people who've been succeeding illegally and doing things and coming up against the saints and coming up against His chosen people, He getting ready to start passing down some judgment as well. So keep that in mind, and you keep walking down the straight and narrow, right? He thought himself a mighty prince, but before the Lord, that is, in God's account, he was but a mighty hunter. So the Lord acknowledged that he's a mighty hunter, but that doesn't mean he almost was trying to put himself, and some people do that. They think they're bigger than God. They think they're better than God, have more wisdom, knowledge than the Lord, and he doesn't. So God is acknowledging that he was a mighty warrior, a mighty hunter, but that doesn't make him better than God, right? He was a mighty hunter against the Lord. He set up idolatry as Jeroboam did, that he might set up a new government, set up a new religion, um, He defied God himself, daring heaven as if he and his huntsmen could outbrave the Almighty and were a match for the Lord for the match for the Lord of hosts and all his armies. It's some folks that think they untouchable, but the Lord finna show them just like wherever he at, he can put his hand on them. It's almost like was it not the Lord of the Rings? Y'all know the big eye. They just showed me like the Lord of the Rings, right? Where that eye, whatever it's called. Was it called? What's the name of that big eye that they were trying to defeat in the Lord of the Rings? I don't remember. Anyway, whatever it was, it's almost like the Lord, not that that's indicative of the Lord, but it's like Lord know everything and he see everything. So even stuff like people be thinking they're getting away with stuff, y'all, but they really are not. Um, and it's kind of like when the Lord puts his attention on you and his eye on you, pay attention because that means that like you finna start seeing him do some stuff in your life. We want to make sure. So this is Nimrod defying God because again, he thought he was bad. He was ready to jump bad, thought he was better than the Lord. He was a great ruler. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel. He either forced his way into power or was chosen for it. So laid the foundations for a monarchy, which was afterwards a head of gold. He didn't have any right by rule, or he didn't have any right to rule by birth. He advanced gradually into the throne. So the people nominated him. You know, sometimes the people have put people in positions that don't necessarily need to be there, right? Thank you for the gift, Stairs One. Um, Sometimes, it's like us. We can choose a leader, but that don't mean we always choose the right leader. And so everybody ain't meant to rule. And what ends up happening, and that's like we'll see this all the time because he's saying this as well. You will see people put in positions of power and authority. They have taken it by force, by fear, by intimidation, something like that, some kind of tactics. And we're going to talk about this a little more in the spirituality because I understand now where the Lord is coming from this, with what he gave me this morning to talk about. There are people who have been in positions of power and authority that the Lord is deposing. He's moving them down. Nimrod was a great builder. He was an architect in the building of Babel, and there he began his kingdom. But when his projects ruled, all the sons of Noah was baffled by the confusion of tongues. He went forth to Assyria and built Nineveh. That having built these cities, he might command them and rule over them. So ultimately, again, he just wanted to be in control. And some people, that's all they want is power. They want to dominate and rule over people. So he didn't have the best interest at heart. It was all about what he wanted. And when he went, and the thing about it, he can't go against what the Lord gonna do anyway. So a lot of you, what's happening now is we can go ahead and talk about it. There are some people who have tried a lot of things to try to get you out of your position. Drop it in the chat like I'm positioned, right? I'm staying in position because something the Lord was showing me yesterday, and it'd be like some stuff be random, but it'll just be a confirmation. For many of you, there have been multiple things that the enemy tried to do in order to, it was like I'm hearing subterfuge. Like there are things that have tried to stop you at every turn to keep you from moving forward and making progress, but it didn't work. And I saw a message yesterday, but I didn't think a whole lot about it. Um, but it kind of went back to something we were talking about, I think last week, y'all. Think it not strange, like if people team up, like the enemy teams up on you, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So for some of you, there have been, and I heard it yesterday. I was just like, huh, that's interesting. I was like, there have been like nothing has been able to stop you. And so we're not going to spend a lot of time here. But for some of you, there have been people who've almost been trying. Oh, that's that part. So let me just go back. Let me just tell y'all. So yes, I didn't really understand it until yesterday. The Lord told me something, and He just gave me this right before I came on here. Some of y'all, it's like someone has been trying to force their it's almost how okay, let me explain it. So what I wrote was someone trying to force you to give up your thoughts. It's almost like for some of you, I don't know how to explain this or if this is going to make sense to somebody. Look, Jessica, hey, good morning, Jessica. Jessica said, yes, me and my husband dealing with this. Like, keep your friend close and your enemies closer. Listen. So some of y'all, okay, so the other day, and I think I was on the plane, y'all, when this happened. Um, I don't even know if I can all the way explain it, but it felt like somebody was trying to force it was like somebody trying to force their way into my thoughts. Does that make sense? It's almost like for some of you, there are people like maybe how do I even explain that, y'all? It's almost like people trying to because there's maybe at one point people had access to really under like knowing what you had going on, but the Lord has put it's some kinds like people trying to force themselves into your business basically to try to under like know what you're doing, but there's some shift that has happened, whether it's in your mindset or just the Lord putting his foot down and being like, no, not like not allowing. Because some, you may be a person who you don't just walk around like shielding yourself all day. Does that make sense? But the Lord kind of he brought it back to me this morning where it's like somebody trying to force their way into to try to take thoughts from you or because maybe that was something that they had been able to do, but for some of you what's happening is you're no longer it's almost like you just like man I don't even care about that. And so it's almost like because I hope this is tracking, but it's like a level up that has happened to where people don't have the same level of access to you. Now, this is physical access, but this is also access where they were maybe manipulating you in some way. There's something, come on, God, there's something that the Lord has done where He's no longer allowing the same access to you that has happened. And this is spiritual, y'all. This is not like physically, but it's almost like someone trying to force their way into your thoughts, into your energy. It's weird, and I don't really know how to explain that, y'all. But the Lord started telling me, like he said it to me yesterday. It's almost like somebody trying to pry something out of you because they want, I don't know what they want, y'all, but anyway, something like that, or just like forcing their way into your business. Anyway, um, moving on from that, I don't, that it's almost just like there's no longer that same it's like you've powered up. Come on, power up. Drop that in the chat. Power up, right? Power up. It's like you've powered up. So now it's harder for the enemy to really kind of get through those shields, right? Um, it is having four cities under your command. He could not be content until he had four more. So people who want more power. So for some of you, you may be seeing that, and that's why somebody may be coming up against you a lot because you have to understand that you've leveled up, and so the Lord is giving you more power and authority. We finna talk about that. Walk it like I talk it, talk it. You finna because you're walking in your power and your authority, and we're gonna come back to that. Somebody wants the power and the authority that the Lord is giving you, but they can't get it. And so they maybe just don't think it not strange if they start coming up against you in crazy ways, stuff that you hadn't seen. It is expensive. Nimrod would rather be at the charge of rearing cities than not having the honor of ruling them. The spirit of building is the common effect of a spirit of pride. And some of you, that's the other thing, y'all. There are some people who will not put their pride down. That ain't us, right? That's not us. We want to make sure, man, that is such but the revelation is real. So for some people, like there's something that has happened. Come on, God, there is something that has happened. The Lord says somebody's ego is bruised because somebody thought they were a little bit more powerful or had more pull or something like that than they do. Because remember, he was just saying that no matter what has been thrown at you, it has not been able to stop you. And there are some people who maybe, like Nimrod, prided themselves, and it's an ego thing. They felt like they were really powerful, but they ran up against you, and it's almost like it has sat them down, and it showed them that they're not quite as powerful as they thought. Child of miss. I don't know who that is, but it's like I don't know. And the thing about it is, you're not really doing anything that to like flex, but they're having to do extra to try to, you know what I'm saying, take you down. Child, it's a mess. Well, I think they get on my nervous system. That's what I think. Because I don't know who need this message, but it's almost like this is one of them, no weapon formed against you shall prosper for real, y'all. Like the way that they're showing this to me is it has been some stuff to try to like take you down and keep you from moving forward. but no matter what, you keep moving forward and understand. And I'm gonna go back to this because I don't know who the girl is. I've never seen her before, but if the Lord directs me to watch something, then I do. And so the Lord has talked to me about alliances, and I'm gonna say this because He's bringing it up again. There are people who will come up against you, but again, they have to team up to come up against you. Do you understand? And that is indicative of the power and the authority that the Lord has given you. Okay. There are people who will team up against you just because they're not strong enough. They're not able to because they don't have enough power. And for some of you, the power that you have is getting ready to be on display. We've been talking about a minute. Um, and it's pride. So somebody's pride is hurt because of the fact that they weren't able, whatever they've done, they weren't able to accomplish, right? They weren't able to stop. And this is why over here in Spirit we don't give the enemy any power, because what God wants, God gives. And the understanding that has to happen is that, and just like Nimrod, you're not going against other people. You're truly like when people come up against you, the enemy comes up against you, he's really going, your enemies are going up against God, right? Because when God has your back, how can you go up against God and think that you're possibly going to win? And so that's where people it's like a lack of understanding. They think that they're going up against you. It's like, no, you're not really fighting me, you're fighting the Lord, so you can't win. Okay. um let's see, it is daring and will stick at nothing. His name signifies rebellion. So this is the enemy coming up against you, y'all, like trying to rebel and trying to defy God and all that kind of stuff. But what ifs, because it didn't work. The posterity of Canaan. These were the nations that were subdued before Israel, and their land was in process of time. Some of y'all finna get somebody else's land. But we're going to come back to that because the Lord's sending people into new territories, right? Um, and their land was in process of time to become the Holy Land, which is Emmanuel's land. Canaan was numerous, it was rich, it was very pleasantly situated, and yet Canaan was under a divine curse. Those that are under the curse of God may yet perhaps thrive and prosper greatly in this world. Perhaps a secret curse known only to the soul and does not work visibly, or a slow curse that does not work immediately. Again, just know people gonna get what's coming to them, y'all. You may see people prospering, but don't think at the end, at Judgment Day, at Harvest Day, when the Lord is separating the wheat from the tares, trust and believe that they gonna get what they got coming to them. And for some of you, this is why it's been so important for you to continue to your walk with God, right? And continue to walk in obedience to the Lord, because there are curses, y'all, generational curses that get passed down, that it is your responsibility to come up under. And when you break it off of yourself, you're breaking it off of your family line, your generational line. Canaan has a better land than Shem and Japheth, yet they had a better lot because they inherit the blessing, right? They're inheriting the blessing. The posterity of Shem, his name signifies a name. That's what it means. But he had two titles. He was the father of all the children of Eber. Eber was his great grandson, and the holy seed descended from him. We talked about that yesterday, and they were called Hebrews. So Eber is where the word Hebrews descended from. Abram, the Hebrew of Hebrews, of course, Eber, a man eminent for religion in a time of apostasy, a great example of piety to his family, and the holy tongue being commonly called from him, the Hebrew. In the confusion from Babel, he retained it as a special token for God. So when the Lord said, wait a minute, they doing too much, they trying to build this tower and reach the heavens, right? The Lord came down and said, hold on, you're doing too much. So he confused everything. But as he does, the Lord allowed Abram's line to continue the ancient language, the Hebrew language, as a token of his favor to them. So even when he confused everybody else's language, he allowed them to keep the divine language. As Ham is disowned by being called the father of Canaan, on whose seed the curse was entailed, so Shem is dignified with the title of the father of Eber, on whose seed the blessing was entailed. And a family of saints is more truly honorable than a family of nobles, and Shem's holy seed than Ham's royal seed. Jacob's 12 patriarchs, than Ishmael's 12 princes. Goodness is true greatness. God, in dispensing his grace, does not go by seniority, but the younger sometimes gets the start of the elder in coming into the church. So the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. I'm telling you right now that many of you, and on that, we finna get ready to go into the spirituality that the Lord gave me today, y'all. Was the earth divided among the children of men that were inhabited? Okay. The number, we talked about it, but the Lord has still been giving me the number 1226. Let's talk about the division, the part where the last shall be first. All I do it, let's get to it. So let me tell y'all this spirituality for today. So now I can kind of share with y'all because the cat is kind of out of the bag. The Lord kind of got in my spirituals a little bit because he was like, drop this in the chat. No hiding. Okay. No hiding. It's like hide and seek. So let me just tell y'all. So yesterday when I came on here, because today's Friday, so I didn't go live on Wednesday because I was traveling, right? And so I was not going to tell anybody where I ended up going. But now the Lord has released. Come on, God. Now, y'all, I did pull some of my cards out of my luggage, and I just want to talk about, do you perceive it? What's crazy is the scripture that I posted today, y'all, and it's not on here because this references John 1:43. But I literally just pulled these out and shuffled them. So do you perceive it? And I posted the scripture that I posted today was Isaiah 40, what is it, 43:19. I think that's what I posted this morning. So perceive it. Here we go. So I wasn't going to talk about where the Lord sent me, but he ended up releasing me to do that. Why? Because I went live yesterday. I went live because ended up going to a little Juneteenth concert. Hey Shantae, hello dearest one. And so I ended up going to this Juneteenth concert. And so let me tell y'all, now that I can share it, let me tell y'all how the Lord ended up sending me where he sent me. So he kept on. So about back on May the 30th, the Lord he gave me, when it's the same day, he gave me the rainbow. And he gave me something else. He gave me another direction, which let me know where he was going to be sending me. And so I ended up, so I had an idea, but I just waited on him to confirm it. So all last week, y'all, he kept giving me the number 334, just over and over and over. No matter where I looked, it kept on giving me 334. Now, in this deck, there is a 334 card. And so it has a very specific meaning for me. When I start getting that number, it lets me know where to go. And so, good morning, dearest one. And so I kind of had an idea, but he ended up confirming it like Sunday as I was going to the Airbnb. I just kept on getting the same number. So I'm like, okay, Lord, if that's where you're sending me, then let's do it. Let's get to it, right? Like I'm good with that. But I'm like, how am I gonna get there? So y'all know the story about, I was in the Airbnb for a couple of days. And so the long and the short of this, y'all, is the Lord ended up sending me, because there's a couple things that's coming out of this. The Lord ended up sending me back to Alabama. I've been gone from Alabama since 2017. Now, let me just tell y'all some synchronicities. Good morning, Kiki. Good morning. So the Lord ended up giving me some synchronicities. So first of all, I left. Good morning, love. Good morning. So I left Alabama on June the 17th of 2017. I left to come back to Alabama on June the 17th, 2025. Okay. So he kept on giving me the number 334, which let me know where I was going. And he gave it to me in a multitude of ways, y'all, to where I was just like, okay, Lord. Now, mind you, so the first part of this is sometimes you'll think that and I did a video about this because Lord told me to put it out last night. Sometimes you think sometimes you think that you're going backwards when you have, so he may send you back to a place. But for me, come on, God, but for many of you, what's happening is he's sending you back basically to pick up where you left off. For many of us, there was an opportunity, like there was a point in your life where instead of going right, you went left. You made some wrong decisions. You messed up. Maybe you didn't answer the calling on your life, something. So he may be sending you back to a place, and you can still be in the same place. But this, and remember, I talked about old mantles, but I didn't quite have all the understanding. Like for some of you, it's like the Lord sending you back to pick up where you left off, to pick up to, it's almost like he's giving you, and this comes back to like your restoration, because many of us have been going through the trials of Job, to where now that you've gone through the testing. Good morning, Ms. Good morning, Ramada. Now that you've gone through the testing, now that you've gone through the fire, the Lord, for many of you, is having you to circle back to that place where you lost your way. Come on, God, like where you lost your way. So for me, he has sent me back to Alabama. Now, the next part of that is I wasn't going to tell nobody that I was here, right? But yesterday I went live because I was like, we were having a good time. And it was, what I'm saying? I didn't even, y'all, let me just told y'all, I didn't even tell my family that I was coming. Like my dad knew because he had to pick me up from the airport, but I didn't even tell my family. I just randomly called them like, hey, and so then they knew I was here. But there's purpose in everything, y'all. There's purpose. So yesterday I ended up, getting to see some people, like see folks, see part of my family. And this is not just blood relatives, because I only have like my sister here that's actually my blood relative. But ended up, going and hanging out and just having a really good time. And so, but I ended up seeing some people that I hadn't seen in years as well. And so the Lord started telling me, he was like, so no hiding. And that's why we're talking about this today. Because for many of you, what's happening now is he's not sending you into something new so that you can be invisible. This is and him ending on the last, like the last will be first and the first will be last. For many of you, he's bringing you out of obscurity. I was hidden. Come on, God, hidden. Many of you have been hidden in Egypt. You have been through your season where the Lord has not given you visibility. He has not allowed people to see you while he was training you, processing you, putting you through the fire, getting you ready. And for though y'all don't really, I mean, I've talked about this, but understand that my time in California was extremely difficult, y'all. But understand that the Lord gave birth to something there, that now he's sending me into a new land. He's sending you into a new place in order to go in and possess that place and possess that land. So he gave me the so fast. So yesterday, I'm still like, Lord, what are we doing? So for some of you, wherever he's sending you, don't think you're finna sit up and just be like, no, because you've already been through your unseen. Come on, God, you've already been through your unseen season. And so this is not the season where I gotta chill. This is not the season where you're gonna be hiding. This is the season where you're gonna have to show up, show out, shine, and you're gonna have to put your light on display, because the Lord is not going to allow you to hide. He's not going, because he's like, no, I had you hidden when I needed you to be hidden, but that's not the season that we're in anymore. So he started talking about, he told me about that. Some of you are coming out of your isolation season and being called into purpose. You're not hiding this season, because God ain't hiding you anymore. He's putting you and your light on display, and he is sending you into new territory. So he ended up giving me the prayer of Jabez, First Chronicles 4:10. Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hands be with me and keep me from harm, so that I'll be free from pain. Now, I have the picture on my phone from yesterday, y'all, where the numbers. So this is the other thing. So here's me, right? I brought all of my stuff to make my oil, all the things, but I didn't bring the bottles. And so, because I had like, I don't even know, maybe 12 bottles, but I didn't have room for them in my luggage, so I left them at my daughter's house. So yesterday, as he's sending me here, there, and everywhere, all of a sudden I heard him say, make oil. And I was like, what? I was like, Lord, I left all my bottles, in California. I was like, I don't have any bottles. And I heard him say once again, make oil. I was like, okay, Lord. So but just different things started happening to let me know that he was calling me to do that. So for some of you, you're going to go into this new land, in this new territory, and he's going to make your business prosper. He's going to make you flourish. Something that you thought, because I was just like, a lot of the oil that I made, y'all, it wasn't like, some people purchased it, but most of it I gave to my family members when we were in North Carolina. And so yesterday, as I'm hanging out with my sister and my extended sister, and he said make oil, he also started showing me other people, come on God, other people who need the oil. Do you understand? So don't think, come on, you didn't go through this training for nothing. You didn't go through all of this for nothing. So he starts putting me yesterday, y'all, in different positions, showing me different people. And it's like that saying. So you think that it's almost like, how do I explain this, Lord? He, I thought I was like, oh, okay, I made the oil that you told me to make, Lord, and that was that on that. He was like, no, you finna make some more, because he's sending you placing places where your light is needed, where your healing is needed. There, it's almost like, again, I told y'all, I already felt it. Like many of us, especially if you're a disciple of Christ, y'all, he's sending you out on your first mission, your first assignment. So he's going to be showing you who the people are whose lives you're going to touch. And so, needless to say, I'm like, well, Lord, I ain't got a whole lot of resources. But he was just like, order the bottles. So right now, waiting on Amazon to make oil again, because whatever it is that the Lord has been training you for, he's getting ready to put you out there to do that message. So once again, waiting on stuff to come from Amazon, waiting on these bottles to come from Amazon. Don't have all the stuff, like, the packaging and stuff like that. But I was like, well, even if I got to hand deliver these things, then that's fine. I'll do that. So I don't know what the Lord has been training you to do. I don't know what your assignment is, but you can be prepared to walk heavy. Come on, God, walk heavy in your purpose and in your assignment, because the Lord, this wasn't for play. And this is not a season where the Lord is going to allow you to hide your gifts, talents, skills, abilities. You did not go through all this processing for nothing. And understand this, there are going to be people, because there's a shift that's happening. For some of you, there are people who have been surrounding you that are no longer going to be surrounding you. Don't think it not strange when the Lord starts bringing new people, people who actually understand this new and improved and elevated version of you. There are people who are going to just fall off. And for whoever this is for, be okay with the Lord bringing in new people into your life. So for the he's saying right now, he's like, I'm not hiding you in this season. So he's not, even for me, because I was like, I ain't telling nobody I'm here. I don't want nobody to know I'm in Mobile. But he was just like, well, I'm sending you here to do the work. So I'm not going to allow you to hide. So I hope that made sense for somebody. Next, the number 410. So yesterday he tells me to order these bottles. The number 410, if you look it up in Strong's Concordance, it actually means Emmanuel. It means God. And so it was exactly, and I showed it to my sister, and I have the picture on my phone. At the moment that I'm ordering the bottles, y'all, I happen to see this address on the Amazon order, like I guess it's like one of the headquarters or something like that, and it was 410. And then I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 4:10 p.m. And so there was a confirmation in that. So that's how the Lord ended up giving me the prayer of Jabez, because for many of you, what's happening now is he's actually enlarging your territory. It's like, if that's what you've been praying for, if that's what you've been praying for, then you have to understand that the Lord is going to give you what you pray for. We ain't out here just asking the Lord for frivolous things. If you've been asking him to increase your territory, enlarge your business, grow in whatever area and aspect of your life, then he's going to do that. But you're going to have to accept it and step into it as well. So the number 410, yeah. Just let you know somebody here. Okay, thank you. Um, so the number 410 may be significant for some of you as well. What else? He's sending you into new territory to take it over. So take it over. Drop it in the chat. I'm taking over, right? Take it over. And so he started telling me this morning that you got to start declaring some things in your life. And so the Lord he just started giving me things after that. He's just like, your business is going to flourish. So I don't know what you need to tell yourself, but he was like, your business is going to flourish, y'all. We are not in a lack season. We are not in a season where things are not abundant for us. Do you understand? Come on, God. One of the things the Lord has been talking to me about, y'all, we are not in the season that we were previously in. The way, if you have been in a season, if you've been obedient and you've been following the Lord's directions and doing what he's telling you to do, for many of us, that is requiring us to leave everything, pick up our cross, and follow the Lord. So, do you really think that the Lord is not going to bless you in this new thing when you have sacrificed and given up everything to be obedient to him? So last night he was just like, that old season is over. You're not walking in that old season, but the quicker that you receive the new season, the quicker you can start to see things shift for yourself. And so I was like, okay, Lord, I'm tracking, because we are no longer, it's like, y'all, it's deliverance. And so yesterday I almost called the message crossover, because I felt, come on, God, because I was like, man, he was like, many of us have crossed over, y'all. You have crossed over into your new season. And I was just like, well, Lord, but that's how he kind of was like, sometimes you'll think that you are in the new season. But I tell you what, y'all, I know for a fact that, and I mentioned this yesterday, like, you're going to start seeing favor that is just going to be following you. Yesterday, we saw it in the A Word in the Wilderness Day. I think it's like Psalm 55, 12, 5 and 12 or something like that, where you're going to start seeing things just happen for you. And it's because you have decided to follow God's plan for your life. But it's also like him trying to break us out of this mindset that we're still in the season of lack. We're still in the season of, not having what he wants us to have. Does that make sense? So for some of you, it's like you have to make this mental shift of knowing that you're not, that old season is over. Drop it in the chat. The old season is over. So I told y'all the Lord gave me an instruction to make more oil. So he's getting ready to give you a new instruction, a new divine download activation, because he is getting ready to advance you in some type of way. He also said that you need to start decreeing and declaring and decreeing some things in your life. And I don't know what you need to speak over your life, but for me, he was like, these are those I am things that you start saying. And he just gave me a couple of them. He was like, I am prospering in this season. I am growing in this season. I am fruitful for the kingdom. Like, we came to produce. And maybe you felt like before things were happening, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, things were not moving the way that you want them to, or you were maybe felt stagnant, but this ain't that season, y'all. We're being fruitful in this season. I'm walking in faith and flourishing I'm walking in purpose and flourishing in faith. I am more than a conqueror. So he just started telling me different things, and he just started talking to me and confirming. And I was like, you know what? You're right, Lord, because things aren't going to look the same way they looked last season, y'all. You've been hidden in Egypt for 7 years. This is no longer a hidden season. This is a seen season. You aren't hiding your gifts, your calling, your assignment. You ain't hiding for no one, from anyone, because the Lord said he is establishing you. He's establishing you as an authority in the land that he's giving you. Okay. And then he told me the thing about someone trying to, like, I don't know, manipulate your thoughts, your energy, or something like that. But I don't know what that's about. But it's almost like somebody trying to make you show them what you're thinking, and some kind of, I don't even know, man, I don't even know how to explain this, y'all, but it's like some kind of way, they weren't able to, it wasn't successful. And I don't know, it's just like weird stuff, but it's just like some kind of spiritual attack, where you might almost feel like somebody was trying to force their way into your mind. I don't know how else to explain that, but because it was kind of weird. But then when the Lord made me recognize what was happening, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was like, I understand what was happening. But just know that it's like there's something you've powered up, y'all. I don't know what other way to say that, but you've powered up. And so the same things, the same ways that people used to be able to. And for some of y'all, drop this in the chat. Everybody, I'm safe. I'm safe. So for some of you, I said this to the Lord last night, and then no sooner than I said it, he ended up showing it to me in a message. For many of us, my God, this transition that you're making, this new place that he's putting you in, you're going to feel safety that you haven't felt before, y'all. Something that I have not had in a really long time is safety. And I realized yesterday, because I was like, man, I slept really good. And I was just like, man. And then also just going back to like North Carolina when I was there a couple weeks ago. And I was just like, man, Lord, for the first time in a long time, like I just feel safe. Because of course, being in the car for 2 years, you on your P's and Q's, right? And so I had this moment where I just told the Lord, thank you, because I was like, man, I finally feel safe. And so for some of you, um, I don't even know how to explain that, y'all. Like it had, if you, well, for those, if you've ever been homeless, if you have ever just been in a situation where you always had to have your head on a swivel, for the last 3 weeks, I finally felt safe. And that has been in over 2 years where I did not. Does that make sense? So from March of 2023 up until now, or when the Lord took me out of living in my car, um, it was no safety. Like I kept my strap on me, I had Lucille, like, And so for the first time, I actually like, wow, I feel safe. And so for some of you, there may be something that the Lord does or some transition. This could be in your job. Like you may like always be worried, like, man, I wonder, just not feeling secure in something. So for some of you, the Lord is going to actually give you this opportunity to finally just rest easy. And I told y'all yesterday, for some of you, what is required right now of you. Thank you, dearest one. It's a blessing. I tell you, it is a blessing to actually finally feel safety when you hadn't had it for many years. Um, and a lot of times, you think like and this is like physically safe, y'all. Like, and for some of you, this is going to be like a physical safety where you actually like, man, I actually feel safe. That's it. Let me just tell you, it is a blessing. Okay. It is a blessing to have that after so long. So a lot of times we think about it in finances, but this time for some of you is actually going to be physical safety. So 1459, this is Psalm 145 and 9. The Lord is good to all. He has compassion on all he has made. Message, rest. So the number 373, I told y'all I looked up my flight numbers when I was flying the other day, and the number 373 actually means rest. So for some of you, what he's actually doing is stepping you into a season of rest as well. And that kind of made me think about the safety part, where you're actually getting ready to have rest, because for many of us, as we've been through the processing and the refining that we've had to go through, um, you've been on go, like you hadn't had time to do anything, just felt like everything was kind of, especially when the Lord is crumbling everything in order to get you in alignment with your purpose. So for some of you, there's not going to be a whole lot extra you'll have to do. You're going to actually be able to rest. This is, and of course the scripture, I think it's Matthew 11 and 28, come to me all who are weary, right? And so not even realizing, like I was doing the study on that, and then I ended up getting that message from the Lord. He was like, just rest. This is not a season where you're going to have to overdo it and do a whole lot of extra. This is a season where he's going to allow you to start planning and how you're going to walk in your purpose, right? Life purpose, consistency, goals, and aspirations, because this is the season where the Lord is going to start giving you the things that are necessary to make the moves that he's asking you to make. He told me this morning, look, there go to number 1143. The devil is busy. Let me just say that he is busy, but he still ain't going to accomplish anything. 1143 showing up at the bottom of the deck. This is like when we've been talking about this, the Lord bringing us out of the grave, right? Many of us have been in this season, in the grave season for a long time, and we are not going to continue to be in the grave. This is where the Lord is calling us out. 1143, for whatever some reason, this always tends to come up for me, and I think I put it back. Oh no, I didn't. It comes up with the 1143. I mean the number 143. So for some of you, this is the Lord confirming that you're no longer in the grave season. So take the grave clothes off, like truly step into this new season with confidence. Know that that's what he's doing, right? He really is opening up a new life to many of you. He's going to be giving you new things. Especially if you have let go, y'all. If you had to let go of some stuff and walk away, he's going to be blessing you with things that you ain't even gonna have to pay for. He's like, just wait on it. Period. Just wait on it. Okay, just wait on it because it's coming. Don't think that he's going to take you somewhere. Because I told the Lord, I told him, I was like, Lord, you know, it's a blessing, and I'm grateful because I actually had somebody who allowed me to say, come on, Lord, 24/24. I'm telling y'all. Now, we didn't have this deck yesterday, but I told y'all the significance of them changing my seat and putting me in seat 24B, and my plane arrived at 24. So 20, I'm telling you, when the Lord show up, he meant what he said. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. He's not going to leave you nor forsake you. And of course, we didn't have this yesterday, y'all. I didn't have the deck pulled out my luggage. So this is just a confirmation letting you know that he's pulling you into a new season. Um, this ain't you not who you used to be, and this ain't what it used to be either. So just know that this is a season that you're going to flourish in. What else, Lord? The clarity is real. Come on, that's the spirit at the bottom of the deck. This is John 16:13. When the spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all truth. He will not speak on his own, but will tell you what he has heard. He will tell you about the future. Look at the do you trust him card up under that. Come on, the secret of God. So for many of you, this is like understanding that the Lord's word, he's standing on his word, and we know his word will not return unto him void. So this is about the Lord saying, I need you to trust these moves that you're making. Trust this direction that I'm pointing you in, this new thing that I'm asking you to do, whatever it is, you just got to do it. Okay. Divine guidance, intuitive feelings, trusting your inner compass. For many of you, the secrets of the kingdom. Come on, divine intervention. And they go, yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy about that. For some of you, there's an interception that's happening. Remember, I was just saying that for some of you, the Lord has there's a hedge of protection that he has put around you that is not allowing the same things to come up against you. For so many of you, you're going to start seeing people fall away. This is a time of revelation as well, because I'm telling you right now, things that you weren't paying attention to before, you're going to start to notice. Because what has happened is, what you mean? There's some folks that can't even show up and look you in your face, because the Lord is actually, there's some of you you're going to know, because you're going to see people getting judgment. This has been like and the reason I'm telling you this is the under attack card. This is witchcraft. This is hoodoo, voodoo, hexes, curses, all of that. Didn't I tell y'all that the Lord was like, none of this worked? There was something that was attempting to just keep you, alliances that were formed, people working together to try to like co-conspiring to try to take you out, and it did not work. And the Lord has intercepted some type of whatever this activity is, because you have come to the understanding that the enemy ain't got no power. And so there's some people who are finally realizing that they can throw whatever they want to throw at you. First of all, the Lord is already dispatching his angels to battle for you, so that you ain't going to have to worry about trying to fight these battles anyway, because now the Lord is fighting for you. You're going to start seeing people get the judgment, the things that you like. I'm not a person that says return to sender. Why? Because I don't want to be in the same energy. So I can't tell you what to do. But if you're a person who says like return to sender, don't do that, because let me not say that. I can't tell you what to do. I would encourage you not to do that, because that's putting you in the energy of that person. If they're sending you something negative, don't send them back something negative. Send them back love, light, and healing energy from the Lord, right? You can return it to hell, the gates of hell, but don't send it back to that person, because that's you sending something negative back to them. Does that make sense? Use that energy in a better way. Send it back with love, light, and healing energy. But don't be like, oh no, I won't, if like, because vengeance is the Lord. So I don't know who means that. It's very easy for us to sometimes to be like, oh, they gonna get, now let the Lord handle it, because he is going to handle it. Yesterday we didn't have this deck, y'all, but in a completely different deck that we used yesterday, somebody has some help. Now I don't know what kind of assistance that the Lord is bringing into your life, but we talked about it yesterday. This literally says destiny helpers. We talked about benefactors, alignment, and at the crossroads. Somebody is getting ready to come in and offer some assistance. And we said it yesterday, we have both of the offering cards. So there are people who are destined to help you in some sort of way, right? So be prepared as you, and I think I said this yesterday, the Lord could not send your help to the old place. He has to send it to the new place. So wherever he's sending you now, that's where the help is going to arrive. Okay. So you have to trust that. This is the Archangel Raziel card, Secret of God. This is the Cosmic Father, Secrets of the Universe, Divine Wisdom. So for some of you, there may be something like, see, there are some secrets that are being revealed. You're getting ready to see the truth about some people, but for some of you, you're going to see the truth about the people who've been coming up against you. But it is what it is. Love them with the love of the Lord and keep it moving. And just trust that if the Lord is revealing it, He's revealing it so you know not to take the wrong people with you, because everybody can't go. So believe that. And it's almost like a switch. Thank you, Lord. He just said for some of you, you're literally going from people who did not have this under attack card. You're going from dealing with these type of people who've been hiding things, lying. And one thing about it, y'all, I'm this person. You can think that you have the very best intentions, but a liar is a liar. And if you're withholding things, and sometimes people don't think that they think just because they're not telling you the whole truth that that's okay. No, a lie is a lie. And so for some of you, there are some people who have it's like they know something, and you're going to find out the secrets that have been, it's almost like, I don't know, they're showing me like for some of you, maybe you felt like something was being hidden from you. I feel like the Lord is going to be revealing what it is that has been hidden from you. This is a time of revelation. It's like secrets of whatever it is that you couldn't. It's like you can't quite put your finger on it, but you know that there was something. For some of you, you have felt this in your spirituals, and the Lord is going to He's going to confirm the truth of what you were feeling. This could be about very specific people. So just know that. Now, this is also, I mean, and understand, and I guess because I'm kind of particular about it, I feel like people just should just be who they're supposed to be. Like, just be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Message. Just be who you are. Because it comes across so much better. Because if you lead with a lie, then there's always going to be a seed of doubt about who a person is, right? Even if you're doing it with the best intentions, if there's a person and they just not being on the up and up about it, you're always going to have this little nagging feeling like, man, and they may be a great person, because I don't want you to think like this is all negative people, because they may be a great person, but there's always going to be some little sliver of distrust message. Does that make sense? So that's why you should just be upfront and be truthful from the very beginning. Come on, Archangel Nathaniel, because there's always going to be that little nagging thing. You'll always feel like somebody's holding something back from you. So I hope that makes sense, right? I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just a believer. I guess because I believe in telling the truth. Come on, what's your location? I just believe in telling the truth. And if you're not going to do that, it's just like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why? Well, I don't know. I just feel like people should say, "Tell the truth, shame the devil." That's my thinking on it. Like, just tell the truth. It's easier to tell the truth, because when you tell one lie, you got to tell another one. Or if you're trying to like hide stuff, anyway. What else? Come on, committed to the cross. What else, Lord? Woo! I'm telling you, discernment. That's the first thing that came through on this gifted, right? Discernment. Because one thing about it, I don't know. I don't like that little nagging feeling in my spirituals when somebody's not on the up and up. So for some of you, you know something, right? I don't even know, because I don't want to go into a lot of detail about it. You understand, okay? The gifts are real. And for some of you, I don't know, we talked about this before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. People want to question your gifts, or question, are you like, oh, are they the real deal? Well, that's the thing. First of all, everybody gifts don't operate the same. So how you gonna say how somebody is, how God is or ain't using somebody? That ain't even up to you. So people be feeling like they need to be in charge of trying to figure out if somebody on the up and up. Who got time to be lying? The thing about it is use your discernment. That's it. Everybody's, come on, ears to hear. Use your discernment and keep it moving. Like, it's not. And I think that's why people get tired of being like in spiritual places and around spiritual people, because everybody trying to out spirit somebody. Not out spirit, everybody trying to out spirit somebody, but everybody, some people ain't been operating in their gifts as long. Some people don't hear the same way. Some people don't have the same gifts. Why are we trying to out spirit folks? Who has time for that? Like, they ain't got on my nervous system. Try, let me pull for this next day. Because who else trying to try not out spirit? You is foolish. Well, but y'all say what y'all say. They were cuteness though. You know, I'm back. Everybody has different gifts. So, like who made y'all the spirit? What's the who made y'all the spirit detector? I'm the spirit detector. Come on, spirit. Who pays like these people out here trying to be the spirit detectors? Child, listen. Come on, inspect the spirit. Y'all is funny. I'm not gonna play with y'all. What is? Not inspect the spirit. Y'all said inspect the spirit. Okay, I'm back. My bad, y'all. Y'all is foolish. I'm not gonna play with y'all. This fool said inspect the spirit. I'm back. I can't be bothered. Message? Queen of Wands is the first card that's coming up, y'all. I don't even think I have all these cards. Be bold and courageous in these next moves that you're getting ready to make, right? This talks about being assertive, charismatic, confident, magical, passionate, social butterfly. This is really just for real, y'all. This is giving me this energy of shaking back and feeling like yourself, right? Shantae said, that's me. I feel attacked at the time, all the time at my job. Needed that confirmation. Child, it be happening. Some folks just be mad, right? They be mad because they may want to be in the position that you're in, or that they see. And y'all know those look, inspect the spirit. Those are the, jealous and envious spirits, things like that. And so, you can't really give it any energy. Like you can, one thing we can't do, y'all, is control how somebody else feels. But that ain't gonna stop me from showing up as the Queen of Wands. That can't stop us from walking and being who we are. I think, I don't even know if y'all saw this, like a couple of, I don't know how long ago it was trending. And there was a girl who was mad because her friend showed up looking better than her. Baby, how you gonna be mad because I look good? What? Dude, meant it. But how you gonna be mad because I look good? What? You should feel some type of way about yourself. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying? You got to show up. Everybody doesn't have the same energy. And for some of you, come on, Lord. For some of you, there are people that are actually like jealous and envious of your charisma, of your, and you may not even be doing nothing. Sometimes when your spirit is right, when your spirit is in alignment with the Lord, you just look good. And you ain't got to put no makeup on. You ain't got to do nothing special because it's the light of the Lord that is actually attractive. And so there are some people, because they're in those types of energies, that negativity and that negative energy, that they're envious of it, but it's not something that they couldn't have. They just don't understand how to access it because they're operating in the wrong spirit. Does that make sense? So you could do nothing. You could come in looking, you know, beat down, and you still would shine brighter than a person who's operating in a negative spirit. I hope that makes sense. So for whoever this is, and this is about shining. The Lord is not allowing us to be hidden in this season. So you're gonna have to pop out and show somebody. You're gonna have to walk in your authority, in your power, and be very confident in who you are. Because your confidence, and this is also because he's bringing me back to the gifts card, right? For some of you, and this is like understanding that you don't have to try to prove your gifts to anybody in this season. We're not in that season anymore. If somebody doesn't believe it, and that's the other problem, some people know that you gifted and they just mad because you gifted. You can't help the gifts that God is allowing, is unearthing in you. There are things that the Lord is now allowing you to access. The Lord gives the same spiritual gifts, He gives it in different degrees. And maybe if your spirituals was in order, the Lord can bless you with the same type of gifts. But clearly, if you're not able, if you still, this is why I said this from the very beginning, and I didn't understand why the Lord would show me that, but I understand it. Come on, spirit. This is why you can't worry about a hater, y'all. You got to keep walking in your confidence. Remember, there's no hiding this season. And I literally wrote that: no hiding of your gifts, no hiding of your talents, your skills, your abilities. We not dumbing ourselves down. If you can't take me at 100 proof, then I'm not for you. We are not in this season, y'all. The Lord is not allowing us to operate like that anymore. Ain't no more diminishing yourself. Ain't none of that. We're not in that season anymore, because how the Lord gonna bless you and this what you praying for, but you still allowing the other people to operate how much your light shine. What? Period. Ain't. You're not gonna operate how the way my light shine because you can't handle my light. You better go find you somewhere else to sit, baby, because we shine with the love of the Lord over here. The sun is shining. Drop some suns in the chat. You better walk confidently in this season, y'all, because the Lord ain't finna be just, he can't give you blessings if you ain't confident enough to handle it. Child, come on, strength. Look at my honey bunny. You got to show up strong in this season, y'all. You're gonna have to show up strong. This is the strength card. This, first of all, this is my personal card, period, method. Because for some of you, there are people who don't understand just what it took for you to actually start walking in these gifts, in confidence. There are some of you, you've been in relationships, you've had friends that have beat you down, talked about you, low rated you, and made you, and you had to really rebuild your confidence in order to come back and just be who you are. And for many of you, come on, God, for many of you, the thing about it is you've been over here rebuilding yourself while you was in the pit. Do you understand? And that's what it'd be crazy with, for whoever this is for. It's like people actually jealous of you, jealous of your shine, feel some type of way. And you've been at the bottom. And that's how you know you somebody. Because when you've been down there struggling, you've been there, like people, for some of you, there are people who have watched you have to rebuild yourself. Do you understand? There are people who have watched you struggle and they still mad. That will tell you the type of spirit that they operating in, y'all. Because how you mad, but you see me having to pull myself, get it out the mud. Those are not the type of people that you need to be worried about what they feel or think about you anyway, because you've been out here trying to really, like, you done had to pull it together, and you mad because I'm showing up confident. Child, by who has time for that? Like, you didn't see me struggling, dog. Like, this ain't no, and I'm not talking about me personally because I'm not dealing with this, but just as an example, people will be, and that's how you know that your light is shining, like the Lord is shining for you, y'all, because there are some of you, there are people, you ain't do nothing to nobody. You literally just been trying to figure your life out, get your life and your spirituals in order. And it's folks that's mad about that. And so you just have to keep it moving and keep walking in confidence. Because one, I'm telling you right now, for those of you who this part of the message is for, you're going to need that confidence in these places and spaces that the Lord is putting you in. You're going to need it. And there are some people who don't want you to step into that confidence because they know that when you do, you're going to be something to be reckoned with, y'all. Like, it's a fire. Come on, God. It's like I feel like I'm feeling and I see a fire that is within you, that there is somebody that doesn't want you to access that, because when you do, you're going to take yourself to a whole nother level. I hope that makes sense. And I understand it. Like, I can understand it from my perspective, but not really knowing it from someone else's perspective, because I wouldn't know. And for some of you, you don't even know most of you don't even know the people who feel some type of way about you. Why? Because you've been too busy over here focusing on yourself. Does that make sense? You've been so busy trying to build yourself back up, trying to get your, like, just be obedient and do what you're supposed to do. You ain't got time. You don't even know who you wouldn't even know, y'all. I say this all the time. I could not tell you if there's anybody that dislikes me. I wouldn't know, because I don't have time to focus on that. Why would I care about you, baby? If you don't like me, you have not been bold enough to say something to me, because that's the only way I'm gonna know. Because honey, one knee, I ain't got time to be focused on you. I'm trying to pull my life back out of the gutter. Do you understand? I'm up here trying to serve the Lord. I ain't got time for that. So get, like, if you can get to that point where you wouldn't know if somebody hating on you anyway, that's where you, and that's the lane you need to stay in, right there. You were to go, oh, they don't like me. Oh, okay. Where you don't even know if somebody talking about you. You don't know nothing. Okay. We have been on a 3-year journey to open up to ourselves. I'm talking about what? Baby, because who has time for that? Anyway, they need to find them some strength, child, or some business or something to do. Find them something safe to do, because ain't nobody got time to be worried about that, baby. I'm trying to get my life in order. Did you not, man? This is me saying this. Like, if this was me and I was dealing with this, did you see me living in a car? Like, do you think I really care about how somebody feel about me, baby? I'm up here worried about trying to get myself in order. Do you understand? I ain't got time for that. Anyway, some of y'all, oh, that's a judgment card. Thank y'all. Some of y'all finna get a second chance. Judgment, right? I think this is the old Bible clarity. I mean, the old clarity tarot deck answering the call. Okay, this is an awakening for many of us. We've already gone through that. This is renewal, transition, decision making, resurrection. That's going back to the 1143 card. So some of you, this is that do-over. Remember, come on, God. Remember, we were talking about, like I said, the Lord may be sending you back into something, to do something, to pick something back up, because He's giving you a second chance to make better decisions. And you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it because one thing, certain two things show you ain't gonna repeat the same mistakes. And if you do, what's wrong with you? If you gonna go back and do the same stuff that you already did, then that means the Lord is not going to remove you from the affliction, the discipline that He had to put you under. Most of us, when the Lord has humbled, He done gave you the D. Okay, He done gave you the D. He humbled you. Most of us, we're not going to go back. Sometimes people do, but for most of us, when the Lord has humbled you enough, you're not going to go back. You're not going to go back into the sea. You're not going to do it because you know how hard that season was. You're not going to make the same mistake. So for many of us, and I'm going to say all of us, I hope you receive that. We're not going back. Drop it in the chat. I ain't going back. Okay. Too many be asking about relationships instead of focusing on self on TikTok terror. Oh, okay, well, I don't know what that meant. I don't know quite what that meant, but we're not going back, y'all. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody going back. I ain't got time for that. Right. So just know that, y'all. Child, who I told the Lord, because I told y'all, and it's crazy, y'all. And I don't know if I told y'all this yesterday, and I might have mentioned it, but I'm gonna mention it again. Some of y'all, if the Lord has not made, if He has you at your point of transition, and I think when I went to, it's crazy, so crazy to say because I'm not there anymore, but when I went to my car, like some of you, you're gonna realize the prison that you're in. You're going to, if you're not at the point where the Lord has transitioned you out of your prison, out of your ark, um, you're getting ready to, and you're going to have that moment where you're going to look at your prison and you're going to be like, Lord, bring me out. Drop it in the chat. Lord, bring me out. I kid y'all not. When I saw my car the other day, um, I was just like, I can't go back, y'all. It was a moment when I was getting stuff out of the car and I just was like, and it was one of those things that made me say, Lord, I don't want it back. I don't want it back. Um, I don't want it back. And I was just like, and that was the moment when I just truly surrendered it because I, up until that point. So for some of you, there may be something that, come on, the furnace, there may be something that the cutting board up under that you're going to be like, Lord, I'm so grateful. Don't give it back to me because this is going to be the point. Come on, God, it's going to be the point where you're going to be like, Lord, give me something better. I want something better. I don't want that because you're going to. And again, this is for some of you. This is why the Lord is getting ready to eject you out of that season because otherwise you would continue to hold on to it, and it's safety and it's comfort, and but it's also a reflection of who you are. You're no longer that person anymore. It doesn't match you. It doesn't match your energy. It doesn't match the level that the Lord is bringing you into. It is not a match. I don't know what this is for you. I don't know if it's a relationship, a place, a job. The Lord is getting ready to bring you out. And if I can do anything but be a witness to this, y'all, He is getting ready to bring you out. And even right now, as I'm sitting here, y'all, and still having to rebuild and try to figure out and still be obedient. And Lord, what's next? What would you have me to do? I can sit here, just drop some. I'm so happy and so grateful. Just drop, thank you, Lord. Just drop a thank you, Lord, in the chat because I can say right now, thank you, Lord, because I, y'all, it ain't nothing like being in prison, even though it was a prison of my own making, right? I can't even imagine going back to that, y'all. I can't even imagine going back. Like, I'm so grateful. And I'm just like, Lord, thank you. just thank you. Because I couldn't even, after I looked at my car that day, I just knew that I could not go back to that. So some of you may have that experience. Look, the fire, right? The furnace. Some of you may have that experience where you just realize, like, I can't go back. Okay. So thank you, Lord, for that. Matthew 13:49-50. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come. Crazy thing is, y'all, I literally finished Matthew 13 study today. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous, the wheat from the tares, and throw them into the blazing furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I literally finished Matthew 13 just this morning talking about this and how, the harvest, the angels are going to harvest the wheat and the tares at the end of the age. And so for many of you, um, dang, that's so crazy that we get this card because I just read this today. So, for many of you, this is like coming out of the fire, and the Lord is also separating you from people who have been tares in your life. So, just know that He's separating you. Look, the cutting board that was right behind that. This is Isaiah 32:1. See, a king will reign in righteousness, and rulers will rule with justice. This is the cutting board, right? So, there's some folks that's going to get cut off. They're going to get cut off, okay? This says energetic chords, released, opening, completion. We know this, that there are people, places, and things that serve our life for a reason, or a reason, a season. Some things are not forever. So for many of you, the Lord is going to, and I talked to the Lord about this morning. Um, because part of what I was reading in Matthew 13 talks about, how you have to sometimes leave even the things that are dear to us. Like I had to leave my kids, right? They're grown, but they still my kids. And I told the Lord that this morning. I was like, sometimes, because there was a note that I was reading, it says something about, cheerfully separating from things when you choose to follow the Lord. And I say, Dad, I'm just keeping the buckles with you. I say, sometimes them separations ain't easy. I said, I don't, I understand they was flowing with the Holy Spirit when they was writing, their notes and things that I like, how things that I study from. I say, but sometimes those separations hurt. Sometimes you have to grieve those separations, even if it's a separation from you, the old version of yourself and the new version of yourself. I don't know, like, it's not easy I don't think I've ever cheerfully left my children, you know, so allow yourself to grieve the way that you need to grieve, y'all, because after this could be a job, whatever it is, if the Lord is requiring you to sacrifice something, grieve the way that you need to grieve, and don't let anybody try to tell you that you still grieving over that. Now we can of course think about how the Lord told, what was it, David, like, or told Samuel because he was grieving over Saul. So it's just like, grieve the way you have to grieve. Give yourself time to do that, but just know that if the Lord is asking you to cut some things off, then it's actually going to be beneficial for you. But there's some folks that's getting cut off because there's some things, not just folks, but just things in general that are going to be getting cut off in your life. Come on, look, now I'm gonna show y'all what one to flip over, the increase card, right? And then the promised land. Why? And the network. Okay, that's it. And look, there go the microphone. And we had the microphone that came up yesterday. I told somebody your influence is getting ready to increase. I said it yesterday. So the first card that was here was the increase card, multiply, addition, growth, elevation, expansion. This speaks to Matthew. My mouth just got hot. Matthew 11:11. It'd be the weirdest feeling, y'all. I feel like that's one of the things the Lord does when I know He's going to give like something. I'm not gonna say because it's all prophetic, but it's like a different feeling that I get, and my mouth gets hot. Anyway, truly, I tell you, among those born of women, there has not risen anyone greater than John the Baptist, yet whoever is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. So, for many of you, the things that you're cutting out are setting you up for increase. They're setting you up for new beginnings, for new blessings, for multiplication, especially as you're stepping into the promised land, your land flowing with milk and honey. This is that land that the Lord is getting ready to give you to take possession of. Right. Matthew 18:36. Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by Jewish leaders. But now my kingdom is from another place. So many of you have opportunities that are coming in. Like this is understanding. We said fruitful already, understanding that this new season is coming with increase. And we already talked about this, so I don't feel like I got to spend a lot of time here. But this new season is coming with increase. It's coming with new connections. We already talked about helpful people, so here it is again: new networks, new people that are going to be surrounding you. This is Matthew 5:20. For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. Some of you, this ain't everybody message. Um, they're showing me like mentors. So Okay. Mm. Some of you, that's where a part of the reason why the Lord is removing certain people from out of your life. There are some of you, there are people who never thought that you would excel past them, but you're only excelling, you're excelling because you're putting in more work, you're doing more. And because the Lord's showing me a scripture that says, like, I see that you're doing more in this season. So for some of you, the reason that you're excelling is because you're doing more. But there are certain people who never thought that you were going to surpass them. Because the word mentor is on here as well, but it's like, and then I say allies, alliances, something like that. So destiny helpers is on here as well. So this is like, there's first, okay, so part one, there's people that thought that you were never going to grow past them. But it's the understanding that you're not doing anything, God is doing everything. God allows, He decides who will rise and who will fall. And so there are some people that are now seeing that it's your destiny to actually go further than they did. Even going back to the John the Baptist, going back to the John the Baptist card, there are people who, there are people, there's someone for all of us, y'all. I don't care what you do, there's somebody that had to go before you to open up the way. And so for some of you, you're getting ready to surpass someone, but it's because that's what God is orchestrating, right? But there's somebody, but they can, for some of you, it's like Saul and David. That's what they're also giving me. It's like Saul and David, to where Saul knew that David was, and I've been getting a lot of messages about David. And so it's like for some of you, you're destined to surpass you're the David it's like a David and Saul situation. Why do I feel like I said this before? This, I just had deja vu. Anyway, it's like a David and a Saul, where but it's your destiny to be in a higher position or surpass someone. And these are kind of like, some for whoever this is like people who, that's why they feel some type of way. And we've talked about warfare, and like, you don't, may not, or maybe maybe you don't, who's attacking you because they know, maybe they know that, or the Lord has shown them that you're destined to surpass them. The next part of, so I hope I said everything. I hope that was tracking. The next part, many of you have a new network of people, a new community of people, new collaborations that are getting ready to come in as well, that are going to help you organize. Like for some of you, this could be in business. Like there may be people that are going to come in. This is, and again, resources. It's not always financial, but some of you, the Lord is getting ready to bless you with new things. And so you're actually going to have new people surrounding you, people that He's sending in to help you organize, or either maybe start a business or something like that. This could be a new mentor or someone that's coming in. It's just new connections, because this new level requires new connections. The old connections that you have, there's nothing wrong with them, but when you level up, you have to have leveled up relationships as well. So for many of you, that's coming in. It's in these pieces. So they're going to help in different ways, but you're also going to help them as well. So it's not like it's reciprocated. It's going to be reciprocated. You're going to be helping each other. So I hope that makes sense. And each, whatever your gift is, or however this is going to work, y'all will be helping each other in that. Communication. So again, we had a microphone that came out yesterday. Hey, Chris Curls, good morning, dear Swan. We had a microphone that came out yesterday, y'all. Many of you, this is speaking to Luke 10:3. Go, I'm sending you out like lambs among wolves. But the microphone is what's standing out here. So some of you may have opportunities to speak. Once again, to speak. Which part? What do you mean? First of all, pay attention to the little whispers that you're receiving, because the Lord is not going to speak to you in the chaos. We know that He's the still small voice. So, but for some of you, what you mean? Like some of y'all, you going to hear, oh, that's messed up. Some of y'all going to hear somebody maybe talking about you. You're leveling up. So understand that there are going to be people who have something to say. Some of what you mean, like witchcraft, some people are going to, it's almost like somebody going to try to accuse you of getting something illegally, but you didn't. It's simply, this is what Lord is orchestrating. But you ever hear, for some of y'all, like you gonna hear something about yourself that you didn't. You gonna be like, man, I didn't know that about me. But it's gonna be something fictitious, something somebody made up. But it's really just someone trying to slander you or talk about you or say something, um, But don't worry about it is what they're showing me. Like, don't worry about what anybody finna say, because you know that you did your work the right way. And so somebody's just gonna have something to say. So don't worry about the chatter. It's just background noise. It's just a distraction. So don't get distracted by that. The next part of that is some of you, there may be an apology coming in for someone as well. They don't normally, like, they're showing me that someone may be coming in and wanting to apologize or have a conversation with you. Just be mindful. There may be people coming out of the woodworks as well that want to kind of just, you know, because they're actually starting to see you grow. For some of you, there may be someone who didn't believe in you or believe in the talent. Um, Believe in your gifting, your ability, or just something, but there are going to be people who are kind of backtracking and wanting to work with you. I think I said that before, but they're pointing this out on the wolves. So I don't know, y'all. Be careful, because there may be someone they're a wolf. I'm just say that they're a wolf in sheep's clothing, like for real. So you trust it if you want to, but I feel like this may be something that I don't know. They're a wolf though. I don't know how to even describe that. It feels like they're gonna be trying to come back to work with you, but it's gonna be up to you whether or not you decide to do it. Now, look, y'all, on the cut. They make this up. David and Saul. All I did was pick this deck up. I wasn't even gonna pull any more cards, and I heard pick this deck up, and literally David and Saul is the card that was on the cut, on the Two of Swords, right? David and Saul, decisions, inner conflict. David and Saul are depicted as contrasting figures, where Saul, the first king of Israel, is initially chosen by God, but becomes increasingly jealous and attempts to kill David, a young shepherd who gains popularity through his military prowess, particularly after defeating Goliath. Despite Saul's attempts to eliminate him, David eventually becomes king after Saul's death, demonstrating loyalty and mercy by refusing to kill the anointed king, even when given the opportunity. This highlights the complex dynamic between the two men throughout the books of Samuel. So, confirmation. Um, this is a mantle shift, a changing of the guard. The Samuel and the David and Saul that I was just telling y'all about. And this is, and for some of you, again, this, we've been talking about this kind of replacement energy. Like there's something that someone's being I talked about this yesterday, demoted. And look, there go the strength card again. Someone being demoted and you're being promoted, being put in a position that was actually destined for you, but there was just things that you had to get together, or like the Lord had to get you together to make you ready for it. The strength card, and we already have the strength card. It was out here with my daughter on it. This is Esther. I mean, and for some, I got to go read it because I hadn't, but the Lord has been highlighting a couple of books, a couple of things that you may need to read. First Peter being one of them. I hadn't read it, but he's been giving me a lot of scriptures out of First Peter, but I hadn't done the study on it. And for some of you, the book of Ruth may be important as well as Esther. We talked about the crown yesterday, so this is a confirmation of that. If you hadn't seen that message, you can go watch it. But this is like a confirmation that some of you are stepping into an Esther season, like you're stepping into your place of power and authority. We know, of course, the story of Esther and how she ended up saving the people, because many of you, the impact that you have, like the Lord putting you into a position of power and authority. There are people, whether it's David, Esther, whichever, however you want to look at that, the Lord put you in position in order for you to stand up and lead, because there are people who you're actually going to be saving with your anointing, with your calling, with your assignment. Two cards back to back that are talking about plotting, because we know that Haman was plotting. So for some of you, I don't know who this person is that's been back here in the background trying to manipulate some stuff, but it didn't work. And so that's just that. A mess. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Unexpected communication. There may be a call that is, or just something. I don't know. Someone may be communicating with you as well with the microphone coming in. So just pay attention, check your emails, all that good stuff. There may be something unexpected that's coming in. It may be in regards to like a position or something that the Lord is wanting to place you in. So pay attention to that. Not Jesus just fell on the floor. The spirit of truth. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that we had the ears to hear card. hearing in the spirit, being divinely guided, and the spirit of truth. And we actually have the spirit of truth scripture, if I'm not mistaken. So pay attention to what your spirituals is trying to tell you, okay? Because the Lord is literally leading and guiding you somewhere. And that's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, we are starting Genesis 11 11 on Monday. We will be doing Spirit U extra credit, so y'all make sure y'all tap in for that. I don't know yet what the Lord is going to be talking about, but we will be starting Genesis. I will be doing Spirit U extra credit now because I'm in a central time zone, 12 11 12 1 2. So that's 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm still trying to get acclimated to the timings, y'all. So 2 p.m. Central Standard Time instead of 12, and it's 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I will be doing that. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. So I'll have to see as that develops over the weekend. I think that's it. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul and things. Drink your water. Say your gratitude. Have a fantastic and an amazing day in purpose on purpose. Pay attention to your emails. I just heard that again. So pay attention to your emails, child. There may be some communication coming in. I feel like now that now that you're in alignment whatever transition you have made, I don't know, maybe it's just an opening up and being receptive to it too. Whatever it is, the Lord can start blessing you now that I'm Central Time now. I'm no longer in the Pacific Time Zone, so now I'm in Central Time. Now I'm in the Central Time Zone. So I got to get used to trying to say that, y'all, because I ain't used to it. I feel like I still got jet lag, child. I feel like I'm still on California time. I was up at 1 o'clock. I really been up since like 1:30 this morning. I couldn't sleep. I don't know if y'all ain't sleeping well, but I couldn't sleep this morning for whatever reason. And I didn't even sleep that long. I think I only slept maybe like 3 hours. So I've been up since like 1:30 because I couldn't sleep. Um, and I don't know why. Like I don't feel bad or anything, but I couldn't sleep last night. So I don't know. I don't know. And I asked him, I was like, well, Lord, what you got me up for? But he didn't really say anything. So hey y'all, there go my grandma and my papa. So anyway, but I couldn't sleep. So I was up like 1:30 this morning. So I might end up taking a nap today. Probably not. I got some Bible study to do. I'm kind of excited to start. I'm in Matthew 14. Um, 2 p.m. 12. Sundays 2 p.m. and now I'm 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Still the same times. I'm just having to learn how to remind myself to say Central Standard Time. So 9 a.m. on Monday and Central Standard Time, and 2 p.m. on Sunday Central Standard Time. Yeah, same times. I'm not changing those up. It's going to be the same times. Um, on YouTube or either on here. I'm probably gonna be on both of them. So I'm so glad it was helpful for you. Hey y'all. Y'all, my papa been showing up so much. So y'all might have a grandpa in the spirituals that is really look, the truth is the truth.com. My papa been showing up a lot over the last couple of days. And he's my guardian, like for real. So y'all might have like a new, I don't know, maybe it's you. Look, they go to Three of Pentacles. Somebody got some help. He been showing up a lot over the past couple of days. So some of y'all might have some new spirit DMs that's coming in to be assisting you and helping you. So pay attention to what you're receiving if you're aware of your spirit team, right? If you're aware of your angels and how they communicate with you. That's all I got. Go be great, amazing, do great, amazing things. How does your soul drink your water? Say gratitude. I will see y'all on Sunday. I love y'all in real life. Thank y'all so much for all the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes, the love, the energy. I'm so truly grateful. Make sure you pick up, y'all. Make sure you pick up some blessing and anointing oil. It's giving God. Okay, so make sure y'all get that because I am going to be making some this weekend. I'm so excited. I had to take off all of my because I don't have, of course, now I had to take off all the eyeshadows and the lip glosses and all of that. I have taken that off of my website for now because I don't have the ability to make those just yet. But I am, because I am making the oil. That's the only thing I think I left up there. But all my glam stuff is actually off of my website right now. So, but that's okay. If it's meant to come back, then it will. That's it. That's it. Pick you up some blessing and anointing oil. You can actually order it in the TikTok shop as well, y'all. I did open my TikTok shop up so that I have access to it over there as well. I don't know, message. I don't know if you can actually follow a TikTok shop, but if you can, y'all make sure y'all do that. It is the Spirit and Glam. That is my TikTok shop. So y'all make sure y'all give me a follow over there. I don't have any products other than the blessing and anointing oil that's on there right now. So I receive that, Lord. So make sure y'all give me a follow. If you can follow shops, I'm not quite sure, y'all. I kind of just decided randomly to try to put it up on the TikTok shop. So, or if you see it, share the link for it. I would greatly appreciate it to help as many people be blessed and anointed as possible. So if you see it, please share it. I'm gonna try to do a video for it too, because I haven't done a video, but my oil's about halfway out, so I got to fill it back up and then I will hook. Hey, Mom. Girl, what you was doing? Um, so I will do that. So if you see the link, you can share the link, all that good stuff. I would greatly appreciate it. That's the only thing, or any of the clarity. I don't even have those up there. I took everything down, y'all, on my website except for the blessing and anointing oil and the cards, because those go through my printer. So anyway, that's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul and things, drink your water, say gratitude. I will see y'all on Sunday. Go be great and amazing. Have a great and amazing Friday in purpose on purpose. I feel like I'll finally be back to myself on Monday because I'm going to be resting for these next couple of days. So I will see y'all on Sunday. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. I love y'all in real life. Thank you. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you. I promise. As soon as I figure out what I got going on for today. Love y'all in real life. I was